Welcome back, language enthusiasts. Building on our last session, let's delve deeper into the study of Chinese language and learn more aspects about Chinese. So, we were learning about three conversations we had seen. The first was the first person was saying hi or hello. The second person was also saying in the same way the second conversation. In the same way, in the third conversation, there was a little girl and she was saying sorry, and the other person was saying it's okay. Now, let's get to a very important part of the Chinese phonetics, okay, which is initials and finals. Okay, so what are initials and finals in Chinese? Okay, so a syllable in Chinese language is made up of an initial and a final. Okay. Now, what is a syllable? Just like in English, we have syllables. In Chinese, we also have syllables. Okay, we will get to that. Okay, so there are altogether 21 initials and 38 finals in Chinese Pinyin. Okay, in the Chinese phonetics part, there are 21 initials and 38 finals. Okay, you can think of initials just like consonants in English language and finals just like vowels in the English language. Okay, so it will become more clear in our next slides. Okay, some of the initials and finals which we are going to learn here. Okay, so there are altogether 21 initials and 38 finals in Chinese Pinyin. Okay, and what are initials? Initials are like consonants of the English language, and finals are like vowels. Okay, so naturally your question arises, sir, if there are no alphabets, how come consonants and vowels? Okay, so actually initials and finals are like consonants and vowels. Okay, so we will be learning about initials and finals in a much better way in the subsequent sessions. Okay, some of the initials and finals which we are going to learn here are as mentioned in the previous slide. Okay, so out of the 21 initials and 38 finals, we are going to learn here about some of them. Okay, so as I already told you, syllable is made up of an initial and a final. Okay, now what is the first initial? B. Okay, and how to say it? So the rule for B is like P. Okay, so in Chinese B is like P. Okay, and what is the rule for P? The rule for P is P. Okay, P. Okay, so when you are saying P, okay, air should come out of your mouth. Okay, P. P. Okay, so and if air is not coming, it means you are not speaking it in the correct way. Okay, so p. Okay, feel the air. Okay, there will be many rules about the initials and finals in subsequent lessons. Okay, just like I mentioned, air should come out of your mouth. P, in some cases you will have to feel the vibration of your vocal cord, and there are many other rules. Okay, so now how to speak M, F. Okay, so M and F don't have any special, just like in English you will have to say M, F. Okay, now how to say D? Okay, D is like T. Okay, D is like T in Chinese. And what is T? How to say T? T is like TH. Okay, so D is like T. In the case of Toi Po Chi, you saw that it was not Doi. Okay, it was Toi. Okay, so D is like T. Now N and L don't have any special rule, just like in English. N, L. Okay, For G, K, there are special rules. Okay, so in Chinese you will have to say G like K and K like K. Okay, so for G, K, and for K, K. Okay, so and for H there is no rule, no special rule. K, K, H. Okay, K, K, H. For J, Q, X, you have to speak it like this way. Okay, repeat after me. Chi, chi, she. Once again. Chi, chi, she. Okay. So now, starting from B, po, po, mo, fo, to, th, n, l, k, k, h, chi, chi, she. Okay, so these were the rules how to pronounce the various initials. Out of the 21 initials, we got to know about some of them. Okay, now we come to the finals part. Okay, and what is the final? Finals is like the vowels of the English language. Okay, now how to pronounce them? Okay, I, U, and U with a double dot. Okay, so now before telling you about how to pronounce I, U, and U double dot, okay, you should know about some of the initials, some of the finals. Okay, so they are A, O, E, I, U, and U with a double dot. Okay, so repeat after me how to say it. Okay, A, O, A, E, U, U. Okay, so now let's come to the finals, starting from I. E, U, U, R. The first row once again. E, U, U, R. Okay, now the question arises, what is the difference between U and U with a double dot? Sir, what is the difference if you ask? Okay, so you have to say when you are speaking U with a double dot, your mouth should be round and a bit smaller than when you are saying U. Okay, so in both the cases your mouth should be round, but in the case of U with a double dot, your mouth should be a bit smaller than when you are saying U. Okay, so now the first row once again. E, U, U, R. Okay, so you must have noticed that my mouth was a bit smaller in the case of U with a double dot compared to when I was speaking U. Now the second row. A, Ya, Wa. O, Wo. O, Wo. O, Ye, Ue. Once again. Ye, Ue. I, Y. A, Oi. Once again. A, Oi. Ao, Yao. Okay, so these are some finals. Okay, out of the 21 initials and 38 finals. Okay, we got to know about some of them. Okay, now once again, if I have to say how to speak the finals. Okay, the first row. E, U, ü, r, a, ya, wa, o, o, ye, we. Once again, ye, we, I, y, a, wei, ao, yao. Okay, so these were some initials and finals of the first session. Okay, so now we got to know about the phonetics part of the Chinese language, okay, which is composed of initials and finals. We got to know that a syllable in Chinese is made up of an initial and a final, okay. And one more thing, in a syllable there are tones, okay. So in a Chinese syllable there are three aspects: initial, final. We dealt with them in this slide. And the third aspect is the third aspect is tones. Okay, in Chinese there are 5 tones, okay, neutral tone, and 1, 2, 3, 4 tones. Okay, in this chapter we will be learning about the 4 tones and how to speak them. Now, there are 4 basic tones in Chinese called the first tone, the second tone, the third tone, and the fourth tone. They make difference in meaning, okay. So it means Chinese is a tonal language. If you don't obey the tones, okay, a slight change in the tone alters the meaning, okay. So you will have to be careful when pronouncing Chinese syllables, okay. So the first case is about, and the 5th tone is the neutral tone. We will be learning about it in next lessons, okay. So now what are the rules for the 4 tones, okay. So in the first tone it's MA, okay. Okay, so if you want to say it in English, there is only one way of saying ma, but in Chinese there are 5 ways, okay. Now the 5th way, and the neutral tone, we'll be not talking here. We'll be talking about the 4 tones, okay. In the first tone, what you need to do, how to speak it, is you have to drag a while, okay. What does the rule say? Drag a while, okay. So you'll have to say ma, okay. You have to speak ma, but the only difference is you have to drag a while. Ma, okay. In the second tone, what you need to do is, and the graph is also telling, okay, your voice should be rising. Your voice should be rising. Now, how to say MA, and simultaneously the listener should feel that your voice is rising. Ma, okay. So this is the way of speaking ma in the second tone, okay, and the graph is also showing in both the cases, okay. Now how to say it in the third tone, okay. The graph is telling that your voice should fall and then rise. Your voice should fall and then rise, okay. And the rule is also saying falling then rising, okay. So you will have to say it like this way: ma, okay, ma. So this was how to say ma in the third tone, okay. How to say it in the fourth tone? How to say? The graph is also telling, okay, your voice should be falling, okay. Your voice should be falling sharply, okay. So how to say ma, okay. I'm sure you must have felt that my voice is falling sharply, ma, okay. So these were the rules of the 4 tones, how to speak them in the first tone, how to speak your voice should, you will have to drag a while. In the second tone, what you need to do, your voice should be rising. In the third tone, your voice should be falling, then rising, and the fourth tone, your voice should be falling sharply. And the meanings in the four cases are as here. Okay, so the conclusion is Chinese is a tonal language. You have to take care of the tones, okay, when speaking. One thing more, the tone marks. Okay, so for the first tone, the tone marks are as okay. In the first tone, the tone mark is this. In the second tone, the tone mark is this. In the third tone and in the fourth tone. Okay, so notice here. Okay, this is the tone mark for the first tone. This is the for the second tone. This is the tone mark for the third tone, and this is the tone mark for the fourth tone. Okay, and one thing more, tone marks are placed above vowels. Okay, so in the case of ma, which is the vowel, which is the final, pardon, which is the initial, which is the final, yes, a. Okay, so it's placed in all the four cases, the tone marks were placed above a. Okay, so you got to know how to speak the four tones, how to speak in the four tones, and how to put the tone marks. Tone marks are put above vowels. Okay, and what are the different tone marks? For the first tone, this one, second tone, this one, third tone, this one, fourth tone, this one. Okay, these are the four rules: drag a while, rising, falling, then rising, falling sharply for the four tones. Okay, now there was some exercises, okay, for the some finals. Okay, how to speak them in the four tones. Now repeat after me. A, 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 a. Okay, you will have to take care of the rules. Okay, now in the first tone, o, your voice should be drag a while. Okay, drag a while. In the second, o, 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 o. Okay, the first tone, drag a while. In the second tone, your voice should be rising. In the third tone, your voice should be falling, then rising. And the fourth tone, your voice should be falling sharply. Okay, now let's take about E. Okay, o, 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 o. Okay, so by regular practice, you will be able to master the different tones, the four tones of Chinese language. The only thing is that you have to take care of the rule and the tone marks. The four tone marks are this one for the first, second, third, fourth, and tone marks are placed above vowels. Okay, now a Chinese syllable is usually made up of an initial, a final, and a tone. Okay, so the third aspect about a Chinese syllable is that there is a tone. Okay, we talked about initials and finals, and we also talked about tone in the previous slide. Okay, the four tones. So a syllable is made up of initial, plus final. Okay, initial plus final, and the third aspect is tone. Okay, Now, generally speaking, one Chinese character corresponds to one syllable. A Chinese syllable can have no initial but must have a final and a tone. Okay. So, let's take an example of Mao. Okay. So, in the case of Mao, what was the initial, what is the initial, what is the final, and what is the tone? Okay. So we got to know that a syllable is made up of an initial and a final. Okay, generally speaking, in generally one Chinese character corresponds to one syllable. Okay, so if a Chinese character here, it's a Chinese character for cat, and it's the here it is the Chinese character for cat, and it represents one syllable. Okay, a Chinese syllable can have no initial but must have final and a tone. We'll be talking about this sentence is relevant about E and R. Okay, so now in the case of Mao, what is the initial? Initial is M and the final is Ao, and the tone is first tone. Okay, so how to say it? Mao. Okay, you will have to take into account the first tone. What is the rule? Drag a while. Okay, so M plus AO, Mao, and you have to drag a while. Mao, and what does it mean? It means cat. Okay, and if you change the tone, its meaning will not be cat. Okay, so you will have to take care of the tones. Okay, now let's talk about the third example. Okay, J and IE. Okay, so for J, what is the rule for J? Okay, so the rule for J is Chinese people don't say it like that way, like J. Okay, it's actually pronounced Ch. Okay, so JIE. Okay, the initial Ch, EA. Okay, so Chie, and the tone. What is the tone? The third tone. Chie. Okay, once again. Ie. If we combine it, Chie, and if we combine the tone, Chie, and what does it mean? It means elder sister. Okay, and what is the character? This one. Okay, so basically you got to know that a syllable has how many aspects? 3 aspects. Okay, initial, final, and the tone. Okay, whenever you are speaking the syllable, you have to take care of the tones. What is the special rule about the tone? Okay, now in the case of E, which means fish, and what is the final? Okay, so we learned that a Chinese syllable can have no initial but must have a final and a tone. Okay, so in this case there is no initial. Okay, but there is only a final, which is U with a double dot. Okay, and the tone is here second tone. Okay, so in the note you can see when I or U with a double dot acts as a syllable by itself, Y is added before it, with the 2 dots on the top of U double dot being removed. Okay, so here the rule is saying, the note is saying, when U with a double dot acts as a syllable by itself. Okay, so there are no initial. Okay, so U with a double dot is acting as a syllable by itself. Okay, Y is added before it. Okay, that's why we have added Y before U with a double dot, and the double dot above U has been omitted and replaced by the tone mark. Okay, so this note is about this second example. Okay, once again, what is it saying? It's saying that when you with a double dot acts as a syllable by itself, when there is no initial, what we do, we add y before it. Okay, we add y before it and we omit the two dots above u and replace it with the tone mark. Okay, and what is the tone mark in this case? Second tone. Okay, so how to say it? How to say u with a double dot? E, e. Okay, and how to say in the second tone? E, e. Okay, and what does it mean? It means fish, and the character is this. Okay, so by regular practice you will be able to speak the different syllables of Chinese. Okay, now fourth example is R. R. Okay, and here what is the tone? Fourth tone, isn't it? So my voice was, you must have noted that my voice was falling sharply. R. R. Okay, in this case also there is no initial. Okay, and what does it mean? It means two. If you are in China and you have to say two, you will say R. R. Okay, and the character for two is this one. Okay, there are two horizontal lines. Okay, so we got to know that this was all about the phonetics part of this chapter. Okay, there is syllable. Syllable is composed of one initial and a final and a tone. Okay, we got to know what is initial and final and what are the different rules for the four different tones. Okay. Okay, now let's come to some examples. Okay, before we wrap up today's lesson. Okay, there are some pictures and you will have to read the monosyllabic words aloud. Okay, so now E, E. Okay, in this case you don't have to pronounce y. Okay, okay, note here it is written when I or u acts as a syllable by itself. Okay, y is added before it. Okay, so you don't need to pronounce y. Okay, so just E, E, and what is the tone mark? First tone. So what is the rule for first tone? Drag a while. E, E, O, O, third tone. E, E. Okay, it is actually u with a double dot. In this case, it's u with a double dot. Okay, but y has been added before it, and the two double dots have been omitted and replaced with the second tone. Okay, so E, E. Okay, R, R, third tone. P, P, third tone. Mao, Tao, Tao. Hua, Hua. Qi, Qi. Xie. Okay, what is the tone here? Second tone. Okay, Xie, Xie. Okay, my voice, I am sure you must have perceived that my voice is rising. Okay, Xie, Xie. Shui, Shui, Shui. Okay, third tone, falling then rising. Okay, so these were all some examples about the syllables. What are the syllables? Syllables in Chinese are composed of an initial and a final, and there is a tone. Okay, so you have to take care of all the three aspects: initials, finals, and the tones. I already mentioned you the rules how to say the four tones. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope it was a wonderful experience for you to learn Chinese language from the start. Okay, as we conclude, reflect on the progress made today. Next session, we will unravel even more linguistic wonders. Keep practicing. Until then, happy learning. Bye bye.